Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jen and today we are making yoghurt. The things we're going to need are some milk. This can be organic, regular, semi-skimmed, full fat, doesn't really matter, whatever kind of milk you like. You need some natural yoghurt, and it needs to be the kind of yoghurt that has live cultures in it. You're ideally going to need a thermometer. You can make yoghurt without a thermometer, but using a thermometer just makes things a bit easier. You're going to need a nice large saucepan to hold all the milk and the yoghurt, and it needs to have a lid. You need to have somewhere warm that you can leave your saucepan for several hours without moving it. So I use a cool box. You could use your oven that's switched off but with the light on. You could use an airing cupboard. You could use a warm spot in your house, as long as it's not hot but just like pleasantly warm. And you're going to need a way to insulate your sauce pot, so I'm going to use some tea towels to hold that heat in. You'll also need a big spoon or spatula. You're going to need a bowl, and you're going to need a ladle, a cheesecloth or a piece of muslin, a colander or a sieve, and then a container for the whey to drain into. You also need a whisk and a little spatula. Let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is you need to pour all of your milk into your saucepan. Now I'm using 2 pints of milk and 150 grams of live yoghurt, but you can make this in all sorts of quantities. I've made it before with 3 or 4 pints of milk, and it works just the same as long as your ratio of milk to yoghurt is correct. So the milk goes in, and then all you need to do is start heating up your milk. Now it's really important that you continue to stir your milk throughout the process, otherwise it could burn on the bottom. You do not want burnt milk, so keep stirring it, and you want to heat this until it's about 85 degrees Celsius. And what that does is it kills off any harmful bacteria in the milk. Now most milk that you buy in supermarkets is already pasteurised, so there shouldn't be any bad bacteria, but raising the temperature to 85 degrees absolutely makes sure that you don't have any harmful bacteria in the milk. So you want to keep heating that and keep whisking it to make sure that nothing sticks on the bottom. I'm just going to stick this meat thermometer into the milk and see how hot it is. So we're almost at about 40 degrees at the moment, so there's still a way to go. We're only at 50 odd degrees now. It takes a little while, but it's not a massively long process. It's almost at 80 degrees now, so I'm going to keep the thermometer in the milk and just watch it really closely to see when it gets to 85 degrees. And as soon as it gets to 85 degrees, I'm going to move the pot off of the heat and allow it to cool a little bit. Right, it's reached 85 degrees, so I've taken it off the heat and I'm just going to let that cool until it reaches 46 degrees. So I'm going to move it away from the hob that it was on and just leave it there for a little bit. Right, now that the milk has come down to about 45-46 degrees, what we're going to do is we're going to ladle some of the milk into a bowl. About 2 ladles will be fine. And then we're going to put the yoghurt into the bowl and whisk it together so that it's fully combined. one of these little silicone spatulas is really good for things like this. So all of the yoghurt goes in. And it's important that your yoghurt has been standing at room temperature while you've been warming up the milk, because you don't want to shock the bacteria going from really cold fridge temperatures to warm milk. So in goes the room temperature yoghurt, and then you're going to take your whisk and just whisk it together. Just like this. What that means is that when you pour your yoghurt and milk mixture into your saucepan, it means that the yoghurt mixes into the milk a little bit easier and you're less likely to get lumps. So that whole mixture goes into your saucepan, and then you just give it a good whisk. What that does is we've now dispersed all of that good bacteria that was in the yogurt all throughout the milk, and now we're going to leave it in a warm place so that bacteria can feed on the sugar in the milk and multiply throughout the whole volume of the milk. So I'm going to put the lid on, and then I'm going to put it in my cool box and cover it with some tea towels over the top, and then shut the lid of the cool box. I'm probably going to leave mine for about 12 hours. You can go up to about 20 hours, but the longer you leave it, the more kind of sour tasting your yoghurt will be. And we've kind of figured out after a couple of trials that I quite like it around 12 hours. You can go longer. It really does start to taste quite sour. But if that's what you like, then it's completely up to you. I've just put a tea towel on the bottom of the cool box just to protect the cool box from any residual heat that the base of the saucepan has. I'm sure it wouldn't melt through the cool box, but better safe than sorry. And then I'm going to cover the saucepan with 2 tea towels and just kind of tuck it in and then leave it alone for, I'd say maybe 4 to 20 hours, but I'm going for 12. It's really important that once you've put your milk into place in that warm spot where it's going to start to allow the bacteria to grow, that you don't move it. If you move that milk around, it won't set quite properly. So leave it in that space for as long as you've decided you're going to leave it, and then once it's been sitting there, letting that bacteria grow, we'll have a look. So now you need to use your cheesecloth to line your colander or your sip. I take this long piece and I fold it into 3, like this. And then just place it into the colander. Now you could use your yoghurt exactly as it is, but I prefer to strain mine so it gets really, really thick and creamy. So all we're going to do now is take the yoghurt from the saucepan and put it into the colander once it's set over a container, and this container is going to catch the whey. So now all you need to do is take your yoghurt and put it in the fridge for a couple of hours until enough whey has drained from the yoghurt to make it the thickness that you'd like. So I've just taken the yoghurt out of the fridge. It's been in there draining for about 3 hours, and all I'm going to do is scoop the yoghurt out of the cheesecloth and put it in this bowl, then put the lid on it, and it's ready to eat. All you need to do now is cover this and put it in the fridge, and you can use it exactly as you would normal yoghurt. You could have it with fruit. We use it to make quick flatbreads in a frying pan. If you're interested in how to make that, let me know in the comments down below. And if you have any uses for the whey that is left over after the draining, I'd be really interested in that as well. There's quite a lot of whey left, and it seems a shame to throw this away, so if you've got a good idea of what to do with that, please do let me know. Then when you're almost out of yoghurt, you can make yoghurt again using this as your starter instead of buying yoghurt from the supermarket. You just need to save the same amount of yoghurt as you used before. So that's 75 grams of yoghurt for every pint of milk. And that's it, homemade yoghurt.